Welcome to the video lecture series on digital signal processing. In this video lecture, we can see about the various types of problems in inverse Z transform, particularly in partial fraction method. Coming on to the problem number one, using the partial fraction method, it is the method used to convert the given rational function x of z, which is the ratio of polynomials in the form of z, into the discrete one. The Z transform is one of the important method. To do this, we can obtain the discrete time sequence x of n from its Z transform x of z. So here the function has a denominator that can be factored into 2. 1 minus 2 Z inverse will give one factor. 1 minus 3 Z inverse will give the next factor. So to handle this, the first step is to multiply both the numerator and denominator by the power, maximum power. Here the maximum power is z power minus 2. So what we do is we make it as z squared at the numerator. Multiply and divide by z squared in the numerator and denominator. What happens is 1 multiplied by z squared, it will be like that. Same. Here if we multiply z with the 1 minus 2 z inverse, we'll get z minus 2. Similarly, another z with 1 minus 3 z inverse, we'll get z minus 3. So by doing so, we'll get z squared by z minus 2 into z minus 3. So what will be the next step? Next step is to bring the left hand side like this, x of z by z. So this is used for a particular purpose. By the end of the problem, you will come to know why we are doing this. So the step one is to multiply the maximum power of z. Here the maximum power is z power minus 2. So we are multiplying with z power plus 2 at the numerator and denominator. In the step number 2, we have to make it as x of z by z. So the purpose you will know at the end. So we have the fraction like this. Z by z minus 2 into z minus 3. So by using the partial fraction method, two factors are there. So we split this into a by z minus 2 for the first one, b by z minus 3 for the second one. So to find the value of a, what we have to do, at z is equal to 2, we have to evaluate the given function x of z by z. So at z is equal to 2, we have to multiply the z minus 2. Otherwise, what will happen is, it will become something divided by 0. So that should not happen. So the usual methodology in doing the partial fraction is, we have to multiply by z minus 2 when we are finding the pole set is, when we are finding the constant value at z is equal to 2. Can you understand? So x of z by z. So what happens is these two gets cancelled. If we substitute the value z, 2 by 2 minus 3, we'll get minus 2. I think you got up to this. So next, what will be the next step? Next step is to find the value of b. How will we find? B is equal to z minus 3 into z by z minus 2 into z minus 3 at z is equal to 3. So on substituting the value of z, we'll get z by 3 by 3 minus 2. The final value is going to be 3. So a is going to be minus 2, b is going to be 3. Therefore, x of z by z is equal to, substituting the value of a and b, minus 2 by z minus 2 plus 3 by z minus 3. Now you can understand this z should be moved to the numerator. So why we are moving is, we know z by z minus a is equal to a power n u of n. So we have to get that form, z by z minus a format. So that's why we have at the step 1 itself, we have moved to the denominator so that we can use at the end. Got it? So this is the point, purpose for moving x of z by z. At the end, we can convert it to z by z minus a format. So taking inverse z transform, minus 2 being constant, it resumes like that. Z minus 2 may be written as 2 power n u of n. 3 resumes as such. Z by z minus 3 can be written as 3 power n u of n. Now we got the discrete sequence of a given rational function x of z. Got an idea about how to handle the partial fraction methodology in finding the inverse z transform? I think we can move on to problem number 2. So here the problem is like this. 3z minus 5 by z minus 1 into z minus 3. Here, since it is directly given in the z power, we don't have to multiply. So we can directly go for applying the um, formula of is a transform. So what is the manipulation we have done in this problem is, so we should have x of z by z. I told you in the previous problem itself, to make it into z by z minus a format, which is the common format of exponential. Uh, we have to make this also like that. So when there is no z, so what we do is multiply and divide by z. So numerator z we can move it to here, x of z by z. So denominator z will come like this. So we'll be having three poles. So three factors we have to find. So a by z, b by z minus 1, and c by z minus 3. I hope you got why I am doing. Because to make it as x of z by z, I need z here, but there is no z in the question. So what I do is multiply and divide by z. Okay, got it? So once if I do it, one second. What now? What will happen now? This numerator z will become x of z by z. This will become the third pole. Okay. Now we have to find the value of a, b, and c one by one. To find a value, we have to make z is equal to 0. So multiply by z. So this z and z will get cancelled. Z and z will get cancelled. So if you substitute 0 for z, so minus 5 by 3 the answer. Similarly, for finding b value, z is equal to 1 we have to put. We have to multiply by z minus 1. So this and this will get cancelled. So substitute the value of z is equal to 1. So you will get minus 2 by 1 minus 2. So it is going to be 1. Similarly, to find c, what you have to do, at z is equal to 3 and multiplying by z minus 3, we have to find the value of c, which is nothing but 2 by 3. So now we got value of all the three, just substitute it. What will be the next step? We have to move this to the numerator so that it will become like z by z minus a. So when it becomes like this, we can directly put it as a power n, or and here after multiplying we'll get minus 5 by 3. This is going to be constant. There is no this, no problem with this. Now this will become z by z minus 1, which can be replaced by 1 per n. 2 by 3 is constant. This can be written as 3 per n. Can you understand? Minus 5 by 3, it is 1. So it is like impulse function del of n. Here u of n will come. 1 power n into u of n is nothing but u of n. 3 power n into u of n. I think you got an idea on this problem. Next, coming to the problem with squares. So when the function is having square, the partial fraction methodology is slightly different. So that's why I have taken this problem. So if you take x of z by z, numerator will have z by z plus 1 into z minus 1 the whole square. So here also, here you will be having three poles. You know that this will give one pole and this will give two poles. So we have to find a, b, and c. So to find these constants, first one, to find a, it is normal, z is equal to minus 1, you can do it. But this is something different, you can understand. It is z minus 1 the whole square. When more than power 1 happens, we have to go for some different methodology. So first let us find c value. Just by substituting z is equal to 1, normal methodology you can find. For finding b, you have to go for a formula like this. You have to differentiate once. Differentiate and get the value. This is the different thing in this problem. You have to do this. If you do this, you will get a constant. Once you get the constant, then it is fine. Then again, another important thing is this is one. This is same as previous problem. Minus 1 by 4 as such. This is minus 1 the whole power n u of n. This is 1 by 4. This is plus 1 the whole power n u of n, which is nothing but u of n. So the square is there. When more than one power is there, we have to write n into u of n. This we have already seen in the properties of Z transform. Thank you. Thank you for patient listening.